Hey, what's up, guys? We just got 12.3.4. Let's take it out. This is the first time I'm on it. I got a good route plugged in. We got railroad tracks. We got a roundabout. We're going to get on and off the highway. About halfway through, I'm going to have to figure out, hopefully, I got a couple points put in, so we'll navigate it together, make sure we continue on our way. But I wanted to hit a couple spots that had given some of the previous versions some trouble. So here we go. So right away on this route, we've got kind of a unmarked two-way road that's narrow, that goes up over a hill. Always has some blind spots, hard to see over it. Man, I'm excited to be on 12.3.4. Really, really cool. The iterations are happening so fast now. So yeah, 25 mile an hour speed limit here onto this hilly, unmarked road, two-way. Back in the 11.4.9 days, it used to stay too far to the left, especially over the hill. I do have it on not the assertive mode, but just average for FSD. So yeah, it's nicely deciding this is a two-way road, staying nicely to the right here. Good correction there. It was actually staying farther to the right there on 12.3.4 than it did with 12.3.3. And then once it got over the hill, corrected a little bit to the left. Yeah, when we were in the 11.4.9, coming down this was always really jerky. So we're going to be heading right here. No cars to the left. We have the right of way we could go right now. I'm going to be careful we don't hit this curb. It's creeping out. A little cautious, but doing okay. A lot smoother than 11.4.9 used to be. All right, so we have this pedestrian crossing. Nobody there today. I always like going across there just to see if it picks people up when they're there. All right, and then we're heading up toward our railroad crossing that kind of has a unique set of traffic lights, railroad lights. It always picks those up strange. Sometimes it stops at the railroad tracks. We've got the actual stop across the railroad tracks. Let's see how 12.3.4 does. Heading right at the light. All right, let's see. Yep, still stopping at the didn't actually stop. Kind of creeping over now. Well done. Now we got a green light, right on green. Chooses the right lane. Let's see if it's doing that weaving thing. Okay, it nicely changes lanes. You know, we've been having some problems with 12.3.3 where it was kind of weaving back and forth, trying to decide. We got a car here on the left, picks it up, it's yielding for us. Nice. Did you see how it kind of gave it a little bit of room, moved to the right a little bit? I think because of that car or these traffic cones, one of the two, but that was what a human would do, kind of weave to the right a little bit there. I like that. All right, about half a mile, we're going to be heading left and heading up toward a roundabout. And then later on, we'll be getting on and off of highway exit. But yeah, 12.3.3 was doing this thing where it was weaving, kind of which lane do I pick? Super interesting. All right, we got a car pulling out pretty fast here. Very nice. Yeah, just what a human would do. I like that. Those cars kind of wait in the middle lane there, and it's, you know, back in 11.4.9 days, we would have probably slammed on the brakes, but it kind of just weaved to the right there and kept going. I like that a lot. Very human-like. It would be interesting to see what it would have done if somebody was in the blind spot on the right there. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying about the lane weaving, 12.3.3 was doing it a lot. I kept comparing it to these chess computers when it's calculating the best move. If two moves are kind of similar, it would kind of oscillate between the two best moves with the percentages, and that's how it feels like. That's what it felt like it was doing with the lanes. It was like, well, either lane is okay, and so it kind of vacillates between the two until it finally decides on one. And that's easy to fix. You can feed video to the supercomputer, just labeling certain videos that pick a lane early and go with that as being much better than getting in that vacillating back and forth. So that's easy to fix, and I'm sure it was an issue that was known. Look, so far with 12.3.4, I didn't see it, so might be something they already prioritized, but so far so good. So kind of in a residential neighborhood now. One thing I did notice that was really, really good was, even though the speed limit's 25, not on these roads, but if you get off of this main road and kind of go into a residential neighborhood, it would actually go slower than the speed limit, almost like it was navigating a parking lot, which again, I thought was really human-like. You know, if you're on the final block to your destination looking for a house, people are a little more cautious, looking out for kids playing in the street. All right, we got a pedestrian on the sidewalk on the right here. And we're heading up toward our tricky roundabout. We got a cyclist on the left on the road, no problem. God, I can't believe how far we've come. Oh, so we got $99 now for FSD. Yeah, that's right. It should be $99. I do feel bad for people that spent $12,000 2 months ago, with the calculation that it would take them 6 years at $200 a month, or 5 years at $200 a month, and now it's essentially half the value. So I don't know, but that's just the price you pay for being involved in something that's revolutionizing the market this fast. The pricing is just a little bit chaotic. I don't think they're going to do anything with that. If you paid $12,000 2 months ago, you're probably just stuck with that, but I would think it would be $6,000 moving forward, but we'll see what they do with that. Or just get rid of that and just do $99 a month, and that's it for everybody. Maybe even lower it eventually. More people would just prefer it to be a monthly subscription anyway, since you can't bring it with the car, I think. So this roundabout that we're heading up to here always gave 1149 problems, and by always I mean we drove over it many times. It's a really low profile roundabout, so although there is a sign that you'll see on the right here that clearly indicates roundabout, it treated it just like a four-way yield, or a four-way. So we got no vehicles, it looks like. So yeah, we got one on the right. So it's coming to a complete stop, and it did not drive over it, so that's great. Unnecessary stop there, but better safe. It's like I've always said with FSD, I'd rather it be extra cautious than extra aggressive. So it stopped there, assessed the situation, did not drive over the roundabout. Absolute improvement. Absolute improvement. You know what's so crazy about these improvements is, you know, it's not like Waymo where they have a fixed geographic area where they're working on. People at Tesla don't know this. I mean, maybe they saw my videos. It's possible. But they don't know this exact roundabout. It's learning based on neural networks. It's not learning because somebody at Tesla went in and plugged in code on this particular roundabout. That's just incredible. It really is going to be able to go anywhere. All right, so we are going to head up here, and then we're going to want to actually turn around. So I'm going to see what it does here. We're going to want to turn around and head back toward the highway. I'm going to see what it does. I don't think it'll turn around. On navigation complete, accelerator to resume. Just want to see what it does here. We got a parking lot. It could turn around here. Now what? Turn around. Turn around and go to my next place. Navigation complete. I'm hitting the accelerator. Keep going. What's it going to do? Okay, we're just going to drive around this lot. It could turn around here. Yes, okay. Find your way. I'm hitting the accelerator again. Is it going to just stop? Yeah, I think it's just going to park. All right, we don't want that. All right, user error, FSD, not FSD's fault, my fault. We got the next location plugged in. We're going to head back toward the highway, or out toward the highway here, and then into downtown. A little bit of that weaving there as we decided to pick the left lane. We got a vehicle on the right here. We have the right of way. We're good to go. Nice smooth turn. So yeah, keeping tally. Other than having to re-enter another navigation point, have not had to take over, have not had to do anything. And I'm not Holmars here. If there's something wrong, I'm going to point it out. All right, we've got pedestrian crossing, nobody here. It does not slow. It's going 43 and a 35. I guess a human's going to be going this speed on this road, but if there was a pedestrian there, you would have needed to slow quite a bit. Nice, beautiful day. All right, we got cyclist on the sidewalk. He's going straight, no problems. .35 mph speed limit. We are going 34, 35. So smooth. So smooth. Railroad crossing here. A lot of cyclists cross at this intersection. No problems. So this spot here where we go left, sometimes in the past it had that lane problem, trying to pick which lane to get in after it goes left. So we'll see how it does today. It also has trouble picking which left turn lane to be in. There's 2 left turn lanes. Let's see if you can see it goes back and forth. You see that? Still doing that a little bit. It's like both options are fine. Which one is it going to take? And it vacillates a little bit. A little bit slow creeping up to this. I don't think that's a problem. Saw some other people talking about that it's really slow to get to these stops. I don't think that's a problem. A little slow. Doesn't feel uncomfortably slow or anything. So we're in the leftmost turn lane. There's 2 left turn lanes here. We definitely want to stay in this left lane. I think it'll be okay. We might have a car coming up in the right left lane. And we do. So this is good. Side by side here, both going left. You know, it's an interesting situation. The sun's kind of shining in here. All right, we still have red left arrows, so we're yielding. It's funny, sometimes when I'm driving into work, the sun at intersections is so blinding in my eyes that I can't see the stoplights, and I'll actually look down at the screen as we aggressively go. We should stay left here. Good. Yeah, well done. Sometimes I'll actually just look at the screen like I'm playing a video game to see if the lights are green or not, or if there's any pedestrians in the way because the sun's so blinding. The computer is actually seeing better than a human in those sun blinding conditions. All right, so we're going to head up here and get on the interstate. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the ride. I want to do some of these longer rides with the test because I want to hit different spots. I like doing the shorts, but when these iterations are coming out so fast, I really like doing these longer rides and hitting a few different spots. So far, flawless drive. So far, incredible. So yeah, let's talk about the Robotaxi for a second. I was having some thoughts about this. I think that people are not understanding how big of a game changer this robotaxi could be. Um, if you purchased, here's what I think Tesla would be smart to do. You sell a robotaxi for $25,000. I mean, call it a robotaxi. You sell a car for $25,000 that people can, when they're not using it, send it out into town to make money for them. Um, Man, what a proposition. See, again, this weaving. I mean, I don't like that weaving thing. That's the number one complaint that I have right now with these neural networks is this weaving trying to decide a lane. That is not human-like. Um, so anyway, I think that's what is going to happen. I think people were imagining that Tesla is going to dispatch this fleet of robotaxis and operate them themselves. But I would think you would sell the robotaxi to a consumer who then is the owner of that robotaxi, can drive it if they want, or have it drive them. Or when they're not using it, instead of it just sitting in their garage, they can just send it out into town and have it do an 8-hour shift, picking people up and driving them all over. And if it gets a flat tire or something happens, that owner is there to be responsive to go, do something, whatever might be needed, if it needs to be towed or if there's an accident or something, instead of having Tesla manage the whole fleet of robotaxis. Now, maybe in some bigger cities, Tesla is going to own a fleet of robotaxis and dispatch them, but I would think you would just make the people the owners. So if I'm an Uber driver now, instead of driving around, I own the vehicle, I send it out with the touch of a button, and I just manage the business operation. By the way, a flawless entry onto this highway. I was barely even noticing how good that was. In the past, it hasn't always been that way, but yeah, what a beautiful entrance onto the highway there. So 55 is the speed limit here. I do have it on the adaptive speed limit, so it should keep up with traffic, which I think it's kind of keeping up with that car in front of us. We're going about 5 over. Now it does actually change to 65. Actually, I think it's 65 here. I think it maybe was thinking at the on-ramp it was 55, but speed limit's 65. Let's see if it picks up this sign here on the right, and it should go a little faster. Yeah, there it changes to 65 and starts to speed up. I don't have it on aggressive here or assertive, so I don't think it's going to change lanes a ton, especially since we're getting off in 2 miles, but we'll see. It might decide to hop over a lane. God, I can't, guys, I got to tell you, I can't tell you how excited I am about how far we've come. I was testing 11.4.9 back in the day, months and months as we changed lanes here, beautiful. And I don't know, it just felt like that the speed at which things were going to change was dependent on programmers coding in all these things, all these little issues that we had, and it seemed insurmountable. And I felt the weight of that problem, almost like they could never get it all the way solved. And now with these iterations with the neural network, how fast it's happening, I feel like it's going to happen. I feel excited in a way that I can't really explain. I actually think that we're going to solve it, and not just that we're going to solve it, we're going to solve it like this year. And it's so cool to be around as this is happening, and it's so incredible how really, I mean, there's a segment of the population that gets it, and I know there's interest now. That's why people are watching these videos. There's an interest in what's happening, but there's a big chunk of the population that is oblivious to how good this is. And we're doing this with cameras. That's what's so incredible. No radar. So yeah, some nice lane changes there as we're getting off here in 0.3 miles. Michael Scott. Yeah, we're going to exit here, head into downtown, destination Bluebird Diner, as this Jeep decides he wants to come with us to Bluebird. 45 posted limit on the ramp. It does not pick up that sign. It drops down to 35. Now, I don't know how it picks these speed limits. I mean, it says 45 on the ramp. It just drops it to 35. Obviously, we're going to just follow these cars, but it's not. That's one thing that I think could get better is some of these sign readings. Like, I mean, this detour. It's not picking up this detour. It doesn't know what that means. And there's some other signs that it doesn't know what they mean. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see if it gets smarter and smarter at signs. Speed limit 35, we've got that picked up as we head down here toward the university. This area used to be flooded in 2008. As we come down past this stoplight, it was covered in water. All right, so weaving. No, that's my biggest complaint. It's like I'm gonna change lanes, weaves, can't decides against changing lanes, but that oscillating is not human-like. All right, so about a mile here, we're going to be going left. Got a vehicle on our left on our blind spot. Probably wants to coal roll us. I can hear it. I can hear it in his ICE engine. You know how many times I've been coal rolled in this Tesla? It's unbelievable. I knew it was a thing before I got a Tesla. People love coal rolling. It's unbelievable. And then you just pop on the biohazard defense mode. But it's just, I can't count how many times somebody has hammered it in their big diesel and just covered me in a black cloud of smoke. The hate toward electric vehicles is political. I don't know. It's like so deep set. It just seems like so much of a feeling and not of any kind of rational reason. I'll die before you put me in an electric vehicle. You'll die before you get into a better engineered vehicle that goes faster, is so much more fun and enjoyable to drive. I don't get it. If you can't explain to somebody how good it feels to no longer have gears, that constant pull of an electric, that torque, that instant available torque that just keeps pulling, it changes the driving experience. And especially with Tesla, the regenerative braking stops, coming to a stop where you don't even feel it when you stop, it's chef's kiss is what it is. All right, oscillating again. Eventually we go into the left lane here. We are going to be taking a left up here at this stoplight as we entered into kind of more tight corridors here of downtown. Yeah, thanks for coming along, guys. What a cool ride. So, I mean, here's the takeaway. Oh, we're going left up here, I guess. Here's the takeaway. Incredible. We got to fix this lane weaving. The Jackie Chan, bobbing of the head, rush hour. We got to fix that. And it's easily fixable, I think, unless there's something I don't understand about why that's hard to fix. If it's an element of the actual neural net trying to pick which lane is better and having them both be good choices, then I guess that is what it is. We got a bunch of frat guys out on a Saturday. All right, heading left here. These are tighter roads. No markings, of course. We got a stop sign here and just a two-way stop, so we'll have to yield to any traffic, which it always stops early here. You have to creep up. A human would do this quicker because I can just kind of look. It's creeping. You got to creep up farther to see. So this is not very human-like, but it's very cautious and safe. you're going to get to where you want to go, but it takes a couple seconds longer than a human would in that situation. All right, so this is interesting. We're going to go right here, but we got all kinds of traffic cones in the street. I want to see if it navigates these correctly. It's kind of picking them up, not as traffic cones, but as something in the street. Everybody else said it's four-way stop, so it's pulling around. Okay, nicely done. Awesome. So yeah, a couple things that we can work on, but what a great drive. Beautiful day, 12.3.4. Thanks for coming along. Guys, we'll see you next time.